Grandpa, for as long as I can remember, I would hug you hello, and after setting down your senior citizen 55-cent McDonald's coffee, the first thing you'd tell me is, you should really do something different with your hair. It's too long, you should get a bob. It's too straight, have you tried a perm? I never did strike up the nerve to tell you, how about you grow some hair first before you tell me what to do with mine? I'm sorry my hair was never quite up to par for your beauty standards, but let's be honest, you didn't have much room to critique. Sitting at the counter, listening to you tell stories with a newspaper or crossword in hand will always be one of my favorite ways to spend time. No one does it quite like you. After long spells without a visit, you'd come stocked with gossip from the pool, the neighborhood, or Chinese church dinners, and reel everyone in as you recounted a funny conversation or interaction, always making us laugh at the punchline. Listening to you and my dad catch up and talk cars, or you and Bumpa crack up at corny jokes, are images I will treasure of you forever. Despite living far away or the long stretches of time that might have passed between visits, you never skipped a beat when we were reunited. We could pick right back up from where we left off, and it felt like no time had passed since we saw each other last. You were never great at remembering the details, but you were always intentional to seek me out one-on-one and ask about life, work, and relationships. I left your company feeling special, valued, and heard, like I had more than a grandpa. I had a friend. And how could we ever forget the infamous catnap? Even though I've witnessed it my whole life, I am still continually impressed by how you can fall asleep literally anywhere, in any position, and so quickly. It truly is a talent. As an insomniac, I'm pretty bummed that that skill didn't get passed down to me. One of the greatest gifts that you have given me, and one that you will leave behind, is our family's namesake. I have carried the name Jirik and its legacy with pride my whole life and will continue to do so, even beyond marriage. I represent a lot of different countries, but I've always boasted extra loudly in my Czech heritage because of you. I know you're not supposed to have favorites, and I might make some enemies here, but you are, and always have been, truly one of my favorite people in the world. Grandma, there is so much that I admire about you. For one, witnessing you put up with needy, grouchy old grandpa for so many years is a feat. In all seriousness, your commitment to your marriage for so long is inspiring and an example of a relationship that I hold in high esteem. I pray that I can possess an ounce of the unconditional love and servant's heart that I have seen you show day in and day out. You are fiercely loyal to your friends, your church, and your family. You throw your whole self into something that you're devoted to or passionate about, big or small. There is no half in with you. You are abundantly generous with your time, money, and love. You are disciplined in your habits. You are a challenger, always willing to fight for what you believe in. Even when somebody opposed or disagreed with you, I admired your stubbornness. You don't back down, even when it might be easier to. In all my memories of you, I've never heard you utter a complaint or be ungrateful. You can find joy and meaning wherever you are. You don't want for more. You are not extravagant. You find beauty in the simple. As someone who struggles with contentment, this is a characteristic of yours that I admire so much. Thank you for emulating it so well and showing me that finding not just contentment, but joy is possible. And finally, and most importantly, Grandma, you have blessed me in two ways that can never be repaid. Because of you, and maybe a little bit of Grandpa, I got the best dad and father I could ever ask for. I see the absolute best of you and Grandpa in him, and being Mike and Christy's daughter brings me more pride than anything in the world. Because of the foundation that you laid, the influence that you had, and the love you showed, you can be proud of the man, husband, and father that he is, and the man he is still becoming. Thank you for raising and giving me my dad. And even more important than my earthly dad is my heavenly one. When my dad was introduced to Jesus in high school, because of you, his life and ours changed forever. A legacy of faith was passed down and prioritized in our family because you answered the call. My relationship with God, truly the most important part of my life, can be traced back to you. I have a purpose and a joy that can never be taken away. I have an eternal perspective that no one can dim. If we remember one thing about you, Grandma, it will be that, and that alone would be enough. I'll close with this. Over the last few weeks, as we prepared for today's Augustlauding, I've been blessed with the opportunity to reflect on my grandma and grandpa Jirik, remembering special moments that you were a part of, digging up old memories with my family, and thinking fondly on who you both are as people. In doing so, I've noticed something beautiful, perhaps unbeknownst to you, a way in which you have left quiet traces of legacy throughout my life. When I glimpse back at my 25-year timeline, I can consistently identify a pattern of your presence, love, and support in the big and small moments that made me me. As I continue to become more self-aware and grow into the woman I want to be, I discover flecks of your influence, your character, and your personalities in myself. I'm proud to be a storyteller, a hard worker, and a lover of cars like my grandpa. I'm proud to be a challenger and a loyalist like my grandma. Thank you for your legacy in my life and countless others. I will forever be honored to call you my grandparents.